the Marne, or otherwise known as the Race to the Sea. This was the first major battle of the First World War, so definitely you could get asked a question about this. And the reason why it was so important is because of the Battle of the Marne, it became trench warfare. Until then, for the first 6 weeks, it had been a war of movement. So they'd been on cavalry, so they'd been on horseback, charging at each other, and then they realised that that just wasn't working. So what happened in the Battle of the Marne, it's all linked to the failure of the Schlieffen Plan that I've done a separate podcast on as well. So, Germany were hoping to avoid a war on 2 fronts, but when the war started they realised that wasn't the case. They had to leave 100,000 of their troops here in the east of Germany to protect from the Russians who were coming in from this side. And then they sent the rest of the troops over to the Western Front. The problem was though, when they were trying to cut through Belgium to get to France, these Belgian forts had held them up and the Belgians had put up a lot of resistance. So France and Russia both had more time to mobilise. So the French believed that Paris was going to be attacked. So the French troops surrounded Paris to try and protect that area. So when the Germans did get some of the troops through, they decided they were going to bypass Paris and then move towards the Race to the Sea, towards where the sea was. So they went down towards the River Marne here. Now the French realised this was what was happening, so they got their troops in Paris to get into taxis, yes taxis, literally paid the money to get them there in taxis so they could beat the Germans who were going there by foot. So the French troops got to the River Marne and in 12 days they lost 200,000 men. Now obviously this was going to be a major problem, so when the Battle of the Marne started they recognised that they needed to maybe do something that would mean that they didn't have as many casualty figures. So when the Germans were getting pushed back a little way to this river here by the French realised they couldn't completely get them out of France, which is obviously what they would have liked to have happened. So the Germans started to try and move past France to come here, so move further west to get to the sea, but every time they tried to do that, the French blocked them. Now, the British Expeditionary Force, that's our force, we sent over 150,000 really well-trained men to help out with what was happening here. And to begin with, it worked well. We had bolt-action rifles that really surprised the Germans, and it looked like we were making a big difference. But unfortunately, we had 127,000 casualties out of those. So we had to fall back and regroup. So it was then left to the French to try and hold out. So when the Germans were trying to break through to the sea and the French just kept blocking them everywhere that they moved, what happened is they realised nobody could break through. So what they decided to do was dig in trenches. So they started to dig the trenches for defence and protection. And because of the Battle of the Marne, World War I becomes a stalemate. And they moved more in the first 6 weeks before this battle than they were to move in the next 4 years of war. So a stalemate means it comes to a standstill. And that's why trench warfare takes place, because of what happened in the Battle of the Marne.